Now at 5 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, 3 teens in Jackson County arrested today charged with engaging in organized criminal assault.
12 migrants were found in the back of a stolen trailer in San Antonio Wednesday night.
And the Justice Department is investigating the allegations of mistreatment of migrants along the Texas-Mexican border.
Another triple-digit day over the crossroads. We made it to 100 again, but what about those weekend showers? There's still hope. We'll talk about that coming up.
The family of a U.S. soldier detained in North Korea spoke out today. You're watching 25 News Now at 5. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being with us. I'm James Munoz.
And I'm Karina Garcia.
Authorities in Jackson County arrested 3 teens today. They were all members of the Industrial ISD varsity baseball team. They're accused of assaulting another player back in April. 25
News Now reporter Adam Seibel is following this story and has more.
That's right. So Colin Stumfel, Christopher McCrory, and Zachary Kutchler all are now 18. They're charged with engaging in organized criminal assault. Their bond was set at $10,000 for each of the 3 teens, and they have all since bonded out. Administrators with the Industrial ISD say the incident occurred on April 27th earlier this year, and those involved in the Industrial ISD varsity baseball team members. The Industrial ISD says student safety and well-being is a top priority, and it strives to prevent incidents from happening and ensure the district is responsive to incidents when they do occur. The statement goes on to say the baseball coaches notified administration immediately upon discovering that incident occurred. Once our administration was made aware, the Jackson County's Sheriff's Office was notified by them on April 27, 2023. The JCSO was present and involved throughout the district's investigation into the incident. While Industrial ISD doesn't comment on individual student discipline, through the investigation and based on information provided by the JCSO, school consequences were assessed. So 25 News Now has also reached out to the Texas State Board for Educator Certification in regards to the Industrial ISD staff who were present while the incident occurred, and we're waiting to hear back. James, Karina, back to you.
Thank you. Here's your viewer poll this afternoon. Scan that QR code on your screen to vote now. The question is, are you satisfied with the level of communication from Industrial ISD about this incident? Yes, I'm satisfied, or no, more transparency is needed. Those are your 2 options. We want to hear from you. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part, and we're going to have an update on 25 News Now at 6. Now, police have arrested a man wanted for 3 murders in Southwest Dallas. Police arrested 25-year-old Oscar Sanchez Garcia in connection to 3 homicides in Southwest Dallas, each one committed within a matter of weeks. Authorities say 2 of the 3 women found dead had possible ties to sex work. Garcia faces 3 counts of murder, with records showing he was charged for family violence in March of this year.
All right, let's pause. We got lots more ahead, but let's check in with Mac. Mac, still hot out there? Any rain chances soon?
Well, you know, for a whole week I've been promising you the opportunity of a little shower, and now you've got to see this. 1 little cloud, 2 little clouds. We're hoping for 3 little clouds coming soon, and with any luck, we may see some actual rain around here over the weekend. Right about now, 98 degrees. It got up to 100 again today. The shower chances, well, I don't want to oversell it, you know, but I'm optimistic. Let's just be hopeful that we get some little rain showers over the weekend. I'll have more coming up in a moment.
Mac, thank you. Excessive heat continues in the south and in the west. A flash flood emergency is ongoing in parts of Kentucky.
Meanwhile, a tornado through a town in North Carolina, causing widespread damage.
Oh my God, dude!
After a powerful tornado ripped through several North Carolina towns, leaving a trail of destruction for more than 16 miles, residents now facing a massive cleanup. The EF3 twister slamming into Rocky Mount, packing winds of up to 150 miles per hour.
There are several buildings with roofs ripped off.
This Pfizer manufacturing facility destroyed. In a statement, the company saying, quote, "We are assessing the situation to determine the impact on production." In nearby Dorchester, North Carolina, this video showing the moment a tornado sliced through a mobile home park. Residents in the disaster zone distraught.
I don't have anything to rebuild with. I mean, this is it. Everything I had was put into this home.
The record-setting heat helping fuel the severe weather. In Arizona, the dangerous and deadly extreme heat showing no signs of lifting. Phoenix now in its third week of temps above 110 degrees. Officials recording 18 heat-related deaths.
Heat stroke, in which the body just begins to literally shut down on its systems. You need more fluid in this type of heat.
In Florida, air and ocean temperatures breaking records too. Officials in South Florida passing a preliminary measure to adopt heat standards for workers after the death of Efrain Lopez Garcia. And in Southwest Kentucky, a state of emergency from flash flooding after nearly a foot of rain fell in 24 hours. Flooding splitting this road in two. And more than 68 million Americans on alert for severe weather. We're talking about from Denver to central Oklahoma. And the main threat there will be destructive winds, hail, and an isolated tornado. A similar story from Michigan to South Carolina with the risk for flash flooding. I'm Morgan Norwood, ABC News, New York.
A Dallas construction company is using technology to keep its outdoor workers safe. Rogers O'Brien Construction has some of its workers wearing sensors on their arms to monitor their heart rate, respiration, and body temperature. The reading can change from green to yellow and then red as the body reacts to the heat. If a sensor detects an alarming reading, it notifies the worker as well as another person who can help get that worker to safety.
Well, this technology allows us to be a little bit more proactive, and it will alert me ahead of time, like, you still feel fine, but you're in danger of overheating, let's take a break.
The company is testing the technology on about 30 workers at several job sites. They hope to roll it out to more workers down the road.
Today is day 2 of a closely watched court case in Texas concerning the state's abortion laws. Several plaintiffs filed a lawsuit asking a judge to issue an injunction and stop the law from being enforced until the vague language concerning medical exemptions for abortions in Texas can be clarified. Yesterday, several women gave emotional testimony. One woman described being forced to carry her baby to term, even though the fetus was missing half of its skull and would not survive outside the womb. She was forced to keep the baby due to current Texas abortion laws. The plaintiffs, all of whom say they want to have children, say the law as written in Texas put their lives at risk. They are not asking to reverse the state's ban on abortion, but rather issue an injunction until the state clarifies when exemptions are allowed.
The DOJ is investigating a new report. DPS troopers were told to push migrants back into the Rio Grande and not give them water. Reports suggest the state deployed concertina wire, shipping containers, and a floating border barrier and netting on the river to deter migrants. Mexico's top diplomat claims the buoys used violate 2 treaties, including one that prohibits construction that deflects or obstructs the flow of the river. The Texas National Guard has denied the allegations. In a statement, the DPS and the governor's office say there were no orders or directions that would compromise the lives of those attempting to cross the border illegally.
12 migrants were found huddled in the back of a stolen 18-wheeler in San Antonio Wednesday. The migrants, 2 women and 10 men, came from Honduras, Guatemala, and Mexico. They all appeared to be in good health, but they were checked out by EMS as a precaution. Police say they realized the 18-wheeler was stolen after they ran the license plate. After a short chase, the driver pulled over and a gun was found.
There was a short chase, and finally they pulled over. They found the driver with a gun, and they pulled him out, took him into custody, and they found 12 illegal aliens that were being smuggled in the vehicle.
The driver, who wasn't identified, was detained. As of right now, it's unclear what charges he's facing.
The family of the U.S. soldier detained in North Korea is asking for privacy and prayers. Authorities say Private Travis King was on a tour inside the demilitarized zone between North and South Korea when he ran across the demarcation line into the north. His mother and brother spoke out today.
I just want my son back, and I just want my son back. Get my son home. Get my son home. And pray that he comes back.
We understand the gravity of the situation. It's a very massive and unfortunate thing. However, at this moment, we just ask that y'all kind of like respect our privacy, because this isn't, my mom's lost a son before, which is, you know, So this is weighing very heavily on her.
King faced assault charges in South Korea and was possibly going to be removed from the U.S. military upon his return to Fort Bliss in El Paso. Today, the White House says it is still working to determine exactly where King is and what his condition is. For more on today's news stories, come to crossroadstoday.com. Read the latest on striking Hollywood writers and actors. That's under Top Stories. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click on the notification bell. Straight ahead on 25 News Now at 5, nearly 2 years after the controversial 6-week abortion ban, more infants in Texas are dying.
Also ahead, the Senate Judiciary Committee has voted along party lines to advance a Supreme Court ethics reform bill. Seeing a spike in infant deaths. Preliminary infant mortality data found about 2,200 infants died in the state in 2022. Infant deaths caused by severe genetic and birth defects rose by nearly 22%, which reverses nearly decade-long declines. It coincides with a ban on abortion banned 6 weeks of pregnancy. The increase in death also could be attributed to more babies being born in the state of Texas. The Senate Judiciary Committee voted to advance a bill that would impose stronger ethics code for the Supreme Court. The bill would require justices to adopt a code of conduct, including new standards for transparency around gifts, travel, income, and potential conflicts of interest. This is after recent findings about some justices' interactions with wealthy donors like Justice Clarence Thompson's and the mega donor from Dallas. Meanwhile, Democrats reject the accusation that they're trying to destroy the high court.
Well, it's more than just a message. Senator Whitehouse has really led the effort in building this legislation into a credible reform of ethics in the Supreme Court.
A win here is a Supreme Court that serves the people of the United States by adhering to the most basic standards of process and ethics that they actually impose on other courts and on the rest of government.
The committee voted 11-10 to approve the bill. In order to pass the full Senate, the legislation will need 60 votes. It will still need approval from the House. The American Migraine Foundation estimates at least 39 million Americans live with migraine attacks.
Health experts say extremely hot weather can not only make these painful headaches happen more often, but they can also cause them to be more severe.
Changes in barometric pressure, extremely high temperatures, and the threat of dehydration.
You put that all together, and patients who suffer from migraines will suddenly see an increase in headache or migraine frequency during these events.
Dr. Ahmad Estamalik with Cleveland Clinic says those with constant chronic migraines will most likely require daily medication, injections, or a procedure. But for those who get them less frequently, you can manage migraines by knowing your triggers and avoiding them. And stay hydrated. Estamalik says that alone may eliminate the possibility of a migraine. Finally, turn to rescue medicine as soon as symptoms start. But he cautions not to take those medications too many times a week.
We usually recommend no more than 2 to 3 times, just because for those patients who have migraines, they run the risk of developing what we call rebound headaches if they use abortive medications too often.
And if you're struggling with heat-related migraines, Estomalik says to seek care.
The disorder, despite being very, very prevalent, remains underdiagnosed, misdiagnosed, and often undertreated as well. So again, patients don't need to suffer. Talk to your healthcare provider, your neurologist, or your headache specialist, because there's a lot out there that can make a difference.
For Health Minute, I'm Andy Gaither.
Nevada apple growers say triple-digit temperatures are giving the fruit sunburn, making it brown and mushy. It won't ruin entire crops because they can prune the trees to create more shade for many of the apples, but it will lower the yield.
You'll get a big old white spot. It just like burns a hole in the tomato. Tomatoes and apples are really the worst.
Growers also say they're having trouble keeping cucumbers alive right now. They're planting new ones that should be ready in the fall. Actor Matthew McConaughey wants to help keep students safe at schools. His new Green Lights Grant initiative kicked off today. The website makes it easier to access funding through the bipartisan Safer Communities Act, which sets aside billions of dollars to make schools safer between now and 2026. It's use it or lose it, and he wants to help school administrators get that funding.
McConaughey is from Uvalde and a father of 3. He visited Uvalde days after the mass shooting there at Robb Elementary that left 19 children and 2 teachers dead. McConaughey made the statement on Good Morning America. You can watch the interview through our Twitter page on Crossroads Today. McConaughey delivered a speech at the White House earlier this year, pushing for funding to establish mental health services and more security.
Well, another hot day across the crossroads and, triple digits pretty much everywhere you go. Even 98 down at Port Lavaca on the water's edge. Can you believe it? Now, there's a glimmer of hope that I've been talking about for a week now, and it'll be over the weekend. And we'll talk about how realistic that is coming up in a moment. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Well, you know the forecast because it's just hot and we're still stuck in it. These are the highs forecast for tomorrow, and everybody pretty much is in the 100-degree triple-digit category. Now, we've also been talking about the Dome of Doom, and the Dome of Doom is basically high pressure that sits on top of us and makes it hot and makes it fairly dry. Nothing happens under the dome of doom, but it does happen on the periphery of it, on the outside edges. And you can see in Colorado, have big thunderstorms popping through there. In Kentucky, big thunderstorms popping through that area as well. But under the ridge, nothing happening. So its positioning is fundamental to what the forecast is going to be. Now, here's the weather hazards for tomorrow, and you can see everybody's still in the heat wave, and everybody's still with the advisories all the way out to Florida now. But there's going to be a little bit of a change, and that's what I'm here to talk about, because this is the foundation of the forecast. Now, this is the water vapor image, and when you see the orange, that's very dry air. You know, it's kind of like desert air. But when you see the light grays, and certainly when you see the purples, you've got some significant moisture. Well, look at this. Okay, we'll do it one more time. What do you see? You see purples. You see little puffy clouds. Where are they going? They're going this way. So as soon as this thing moves back, we're going to have that tropical air over our area, and tropical air has got a better chance of getting some sort of shower activity. Now, I've said this for 100 years, and people get mad at me when I say it, but it's a truism in weather. When the heat wave hits Chicago, it's tropical storm season, okay? Remember I said that. When the heat wave hits Chicago, it's tropical storm season for us, all right? And I'll tell you why in just a second. Now, here's Future Tracker. I'm going to go out as far as we can on this, and you can see Thursday right about here. Well, we go to Friday, and all of a sudden there's some, well, no, it's here Sunday. All right, Sunday. We have a good fetch of moisture coming in. You saw how the line around the ridge is backing up. And then you'll see as we go to Monday, we have a little chance of a little shower activity up and down the coast. Not bad. The center of the ridge is moving farther north. And here we are on Tuesday. What is that? Possible rain here? And then we go to Wednesday, and we still have enough moisture to pop something around here, all because the center of the ridge is moving up. In fact, where is it going? To Chicago. And when it opens up the door, the tropics get busy. We'll certainly talk more about this. This is the old Don. You don't have to worry about Don. He really can't get its act together, but now Don is going that direction. So let's go south. This is, of course, the west coast of Africa. Here's an easterly wave that's coming right off the coast, off the mainland. And that one has potential. Three things. The water is very warm. The shear is up here, and down here it has a potential to form. So let's just say next week we'll be watching for that one, see if it actually gets going. For those of you in Port Lavaca, getting up to 96 tomorrow. For those of you getting into Cuero, we're looking for a nice high of 100. Still wall-to-wall sunshine, but as you can see, by Saturday, more clouds, little puffy clouds. 20% on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Now, this is not a washout. This is just a few isolated showers, but it's better than anything we've seen for the last month. Well, that's your 7-day forecast. We've got a QR code. We'd love for you to scan that and put Crossroads Today on your phone. James, Karina, back to you.
Mac, thank you. Coming up next on 25 News Now at 5, we're going to take a look at Wall Street. Plus, multiple strikes are impacting shipping, travel, and entertainment across the U.S.
Taking a look at your stocks, the Dow up 164 points, the S&P 500 losing 31 points, and the Nasdaq off 294 points. Oil up 28 cents, closing at $75.63 a barrel. Members of the UPS Teamsters Union are staging practice picket lines as an August 1st strike looms. UPS is planning to up its offer on pay and benefits. Meanwhile, American Airlines flight attendants are set to vote on a strike authorization this month. They want an immediate 35% raise. This is what United, American, and Delta have offered their pilots. And in Southern California, hotel employees are staging short-term walkouts over pay and benefits. This as Hollywood unions for writers and actors continue to picket.
Google is building an artificial intelligence tool for news publishers and headlines and articles. Google says the idea is to help journalists enhance their work and productivity. The idea was pitched to the Times, the Washington Post, and News Corp, who owns the Wall Street Journal. Google is focusing on smaller publishers and said this isn't meant to replace journalists. With the rise of AI, there are concerns about their potential to get facts wrong or hallucinate responses. Some outlets have had to issue significant corrections for stories written using AI.
Stay with us. We'll take one last look at your forecast. Plus, Comic-Con 2023 has begun with high attendance despite the actors' union strike.
Comic-Con 2023 is underway in San Diego. Despite the absence of the big-name stars, the doors open to the public for the annual celebration of comic books, animation, and pop culture at the San Diego Convention Center. The event usually tops 130,000 people in attendance. With the current actors' strike ongoing, many visitors won't see any actors at this year's event because the SAG-AFTRA strike prohibits actors from promoting studio contracted work. More than 24 panels were canceled, but attendance for the was strong for the first day. What were y'all laughing at?
Well, the costumes
the
there.
Costumes, $130,000 of people who are dressing up like characters in movies.
All I know is San Diego, what is it, 80
Mario.
degrees there right now?
San Diego's a paradise
the best
weather,
weather,
but that's a lot of people. It's kind of Halloween in July.
There you go.
Halloween in
Christmas
July.
in
You
July.
can see it like that.
They want to dress up like one of those Klingons or whatever it is that they're dressing. But hey, at least they're having fun and in the shade, because we're not having fun unless you're in the shade. I saw some guys working outdoors today.
Or in the pool, yeah. It's tough.
I was driving through it. guys doing the yards and all that. I'm going, that's tough work, but it is what it is, and here's what we expect. Now, here's the funny part. We do have the increasing rain chance. Now, it's just isolated afternoon showers. But the heat index is not going to go down. Why? Because the humidity is going to go up. So it'll be a little bit more humid, but hopefully we'll see a cloud. And if you catch a little rain shower, take a picture of it, send it to me, and I'll post it so we can all remember what they used to look like.
And that email is staff@crossroadstoday.com. Now you know.
Very good.
Yeah. We'll look for it. Thank you, Mac. Thank you for being with us.
We hope to see you back here tonight for 25 News Now at 6, and World News Tonight with Davey Muir is up next.